Hello, my name is Victoria Manley, and today I would like to talk about the animal agriculture industry, which is the second largest contributor to global climate change that an individual can make. The problem is all about individual actions and choices. In developed countries and countries where we are abundant in resources, energy, and food, we have many options that align with our values. One of the problems in America is that overconsumption of cattle and other animal products and byproducts create issues with global climate change. The problem is not just in the effects of eating from the animal agriculture industry, but also the negative implications towards the animal's health that is cruel, overall disgusting for an everyday viewer to see, and a complete health crisis for everyone involved. I'm bringing this problem forward because animal agriculture is the second largest contributor to global climate change. Everyone has the resources to eat a vegan diet instead of animal cattle or livestock for food production can lessen the effects of global climate change and the amount of harm anticipated in hurting another sentient being. The problem is manifested by the cattle that America consumes. The choices we make to consume animal products and their byproducts create the issue of, but not limited to, the finite space we have, the resources we have that go to cattle, the medicine that we could use to humans instead of cattle, the health of the livestock and ourselves, and what we subjugate the meat industry employees to do that goes against our everyday human nature. It's not in our hearts to be cruel to other beings that feel pain. We cringe in empathy when another being is hurt, and we get used to it because we tell ourselves that that's something that must be done. Yet food animals are subjugated to cruelty in the feed, treatment, and slaughter practices. Bovine food animals, or cows, are subjugated to a plethora of suffering before their slaughter is created by the corn they consume, that includes bloating, acidosis, diarrhea, ulcers, rheumatitis, liver disease, and general weakening of the immune system. These are the conditions they must endure if they do not die from it. When a cow's diet consists of too much starch and not enough fiber, digestion has a hard time. A layer of foamy slime forms in their stomach called rumen, and the foamy slime traps the gases within their first stomach. After that, it inflates like a balloon until it presses against its organs and lungs. Unfortunately, this type of treatment is usually forcing a hose down the animal's esophagus. If that is not done, the animal can suffocate from the slime accumulated. Another issue they must endure to their food is acidosis. Bovine have a natural neutral pH in their stomach compared to the human gut, which is more acidic than cows. When they eat corn, the corn makes the stomach content acidic, and it gives the cow a heartburn-like reaction. Acidotic animals tend to not eat their feed anymore. They pant and salivate excessively, and they paw and scratch at their bellies and eat dirt. The conditions may lead to many other health problems that can cause irritability and pain. A company called Poke Farm, one of the staff veterinarians is Dr. Mel Metzen. He explains that cows in America are being bred to eat grain instead of their natural evolutionary diet of forage. Farmers select the cow because of its ability to eat, and the contemporary beef cows were selected to eat large quantities of corn and efficiently convert its food to protein without getting incredibly sick. Dr. Metzen treats the ailments that the cows endure with antibiotics, and that alone makes them healthy animals. Most of America's antibiotics are actually going to the animal agriculture industry. This is a generally accepted and well-known practice that animals are kept on antibiotics until slaughter, and this creates a dangerous opportunity for superbugs to form and evolve. Superbugs from hazardous diseases that cows and other animals and humans are susceptible to. Ultimately, we use enormous amounts of feed to raise an insufficient quantity of food. According to the Polk Cattle Ranch statistics, cows and hardly a year old will convert 32 pounds of feed into 4 pounds of grain, new muscle fat, and bone until their slaughter. The trend contributing to the problem is that Americans prefer the taste of their meat, and they prefer the flavor that is grain-fed beef. The desired change, something that I want to see in everyday lives to change for the better, is to have the majority of the American population go to a vegetarian or vegan diet, preferably vegan. Vegan has lots of benefits to your health, the environment, and the industry around you can reverse the effects of global climate change. I understand that some people, because of health concerns, religious reasons, personal beliefs, cannot or will not go vegan and can be accommodated by having cloned beef, which is another desired effect that I would like manifested. Instead of having millions of animals produce meat, we can have a select few be the source host of cloned meat. There are other alternatives to meat, like plant-based meat, which isn't meat at all, but has similar flavors and textures. Some of the benefits of a vegan diet, in a whole sense of a country, we can focus our economy, efforts, and lifestyles towards changes that we want to strive for, and we have been striving for decades. We can combat childhood obesity with a vegan diet. We can decrease the amount of self-implicated medical issues such as obesity and some heart problems that are medical issues that come with a poor diet and an excess of meat consumption. We can fix the problem of biodiversity in the continent of the United States. Once we have freed up the grazing cattle lands, we can use those to reforest an area, promote local flora and fauna, and the local biodiversity of the area. Another benefit to a vegan diet is a decrease in insurance payments, because most people will, in general, be healthier for this diet change. Medical institutions can refocus the number of resources towards the medical industry on people with severe and chronic diseases and illnesses. We can have a more locally sourced economy due to a vegan diet. This mindset has come from the idea that most vegans shop local produce. Because vegans don't eat meat other animal byproducts, they can have a plant-based diet. Because they have a plant-based diet, farmers will be in demand for their produce and will be financially supported. The rise in local farming will also create a thriving local economy for all the states and territories. The benefits of going to a plant-based diet or vegetarian, which accepts dairy, cheese, and other animal byproducts for the majority of the American population is beneficial in many tiers of life, as I've discussed earlier. The animal agriculture industry, in conclusion, sells cattle for food, is incredibly inefficient. The antibiotic resistance created within an animal during their time at the ranch will result in human digestion. The antibiotics we rely on to keep cattle healthy will be the downfall of our health because we consequentially create antibiotic resistant viruses and diseases that will find its way to our health from what we eat. The process in which cattle meat is marbled is painful for the cattle to endure and is also costly in the long run by ecological standpoints. The animal agriculture industry has created a sad, inefficient, but normalized standard of practice that many consumers, farmers, and industry employees are unbothered by the process because they ultimately were told that they had to do it. Thank you so much. That is my presentation from the reading An Omnivore's Dilemma.